back to the Blue Residue channel. Today I'm going to be going over how I made a quick, cheap, temporary fence for my goats to continue grazing outside of their normal enclosure. So my goats normally stay in this fenced in area behind me, and they quickly ate up all of their winter grazing. So right beside their pen in this open area, there was a lot of oats and rye and just natural forage that has come up over the years, and I thought it'd be perfect to get them in there, but I don't want to let them out loose with no fencing around them because I was afraid they're going to run off. But so what I did is I got some of the poly wire from Tractor Supply and a few T-posts that I already had, and I strung up this quick and easy 5-strand electric fence to keep them in here so that they can graze. They're not going to stay out here all the time, and I only let them out when I'm down here supervising them, just because this is this fence is, if they wanted to get through it they could, but since it's electrified they know not to get near it or to mess with it. But still, I'm not going to take that chance, so I always am around the goats when they're out, just so I have no escapees. But I'm going to show you how I set this up. Super easy, super simple. Let's get into it. So this fence consists of 5 strands of poly wire. So the first strand is about 4 to 5 inches off the ground. The second one 4 to 5 inches above that, 4 to 5 inches again. Then we go to about 7 or 8 inches, and then about 7 or 8 inches above that to complete the 5th strand. In total, this is about, I'd say about 40 inches off the ground, and that's plenty for the goats to not be tempted to jump over. You know, if this were permanent, I'd definitely go to 48, even 50 inches, but for this temporary setup, it's plenty. So as you can see right here, we have the goat's main enclosure, this red brand field sheep and goat fence. So I tied on to this existing corner post right here, and then I just put a sheep and goat panel coming off of that to prevent them from escaping through the 2 main posts right here. And I have this sheep and goat panel so that I can move it and still take in hay and other necessities for the goats without having to take down the electric fence itself, these individual strands. So keeping the wire itself onto the post, I have these ceramic insulators on all the corners and harsh bends along the fence. And on the T-post, I just have your normal yellow insulators, and that does an adequate job of keeping the fence pretty tight and not letting it get too much slack in it. So my goats know electric fence, and they know that they're going to get shocked, so they haven't really even tested this fence, so I haven't had a real issue with it. So on this corner right here where the fence bends a little bit, I have some smaller ceramic insulators just to prevent any breaking from the T-post, the plastic insulator. So it seems to be the best to use these ceramic insulators on all the corners just to prevent any pop-offs or anything like that. Now, what I like most about this fence setup is that this is temporary to an extent. So once all of this grass has been eaten and these goats are moved to their additional pen that I have for them after they're done weaning off these kids, I'm going to take these T-posts and this wire up, and I'm going to string the wire on like an electric cord spool so that I can reuse it next year. So this area that I have the goats in right now, it's not an area that I want to fence off permanently, but I like the fact that I can set this up. It took me a couple afternoons, not all that much work, and I just strung it up. And I can do this every year. Just use my same T-post, use my same insulators that I have on the T-posts themselves, and I can do this every year, and I already have all the materials on hand, so it's really all I'm putting into it is my labor cost. So it's a very easy method to add to your grazing, and this is the first year I've done it, and it's worked out really well so far. The goats, they haven't tried to get out. They're eating this stuff up pretty good, so far it's a win-win. And as you can see, this stuff is pretty thick. This stuff has been coming up for several years, and I didn't really even think that I could put these goats in here. So I'm glad that I had this idea. It'll take these goats a long time to eat all this up. So they'll be able to come in here they'll probably not even be able to eat all this stuff up before it starts dying off for the summer. But yeah, they're really enjoying it. And as you can see right here, I don't have my T-posts spaced all that close. This wire is pretty light, so I probably should have brought this T-post in a little bit closer. I have this temporary little step-in post to kind of pick up some of that slack, but with a setup like this, you don't have to put your posts all that close together. They don't really need to be very supportive of the wires. I mean, pretty easy to get this set up. The first time I let the goats out, I was kind of worried that I wasn't going to be able to get them back into their permanent enclosure behind me right here. But the goats, I feed them some pellet feed a few times a week, so they know that when I come out with a bucket that I have the feed, and they follow me pretty easily. So I just came out here and I shook the feed bucket and they all came running and they followed me right in. And I moved their feed bowls closer to the gate right here so that they can see me pouring out the feed and they'll want to follow me right in. And now I have them trained where if they even see me walk up, they all come running back to the gate. They go right in and they know what time it is to get fed. So, you know, in the future, I may try letting them out with no fencing because they've been coming back very good. They haven't tried to run off or escape any. So, you know, if I get enough courage, I may let them out on their own and without any fencing in the future. But for now, I have this electric wire strung and I'm pretty happy with it. So if you guys have any tips or comments or anything that I should do differently, let me know down in the comments below. We love hearing what you guys think and experiences that you guys have. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.